Hello, my darlings. So I'm happy to see that our government is finally making some progress on this mission of transparency in regards to, of course, aspects of the deep state, which is a complicated term, but basically it is deep-seated interests that have motives that define the zeitgeist. So in a convoluted way, it is those who were able to influence the anatomy of history without being recognized. That is deep. But if it's so huge and immense, of course it's encoded in different ways and different outcomes. I'm happy to see that we're discussing MK Ultra. I was a victim to it. I've been talking about this. So how do you talk about this when so many Americans were victims to it, including the program Gate? MK Ultra does not mean mind control. That is the problem. It means Manchu Camo. But Ultra existed before Manchuria, Manchukuo, yes, the puppet Nazi regime, fascists, Buddhists, failed government, a failed nation of the East. It was connected to this woman in the corner here. So, us not recognizing that Dora Kunz is the founder of MK Ultra, it is connected to us not understanding Charles Manson, understanding JFK, RFK, and the Holocaust. The punk scene has basically digested it in convoluted ways, in subtle ways. It's basically like people have the energy of not fully understanding it, but they have the glimpse of it. That's why in the punk movement there is appropriation of Nazism. It's because they knew that spiritual fascists were part of it. So in many ways, like Led Zeppelin, it's broadcasting the truth out loud. These people are smart. Musicians and artists are smart. But they don't know everything. They expect that there would be more transparency and more information, so we could get to the bottom of it and we could all understand how it was possible. So how was it possible? It's not Nazism. It's bigger than that. It is science and technology and power. And sometimes it allies with the major spiritual leaders of the times. So what I'm telling you, it's not what you think it is. It's much bigger. So what happened? They took away Abraham Lincoln from us. It's the same coup. It is the Theosophical coup. It is because there was a Ukrainian Enlightenment. And there was a counter-enlightenment. Helena Blavatsky, even though she was born on the Ukrainian side, she's part of the Russian Enlightenment. And because of that, there was a calling to restore what was taken away, and that was the synarchy of the spiritual hierarchy. Abraham Lincoln was in contact with Karl Marx. The extent to this correspondence is censored. It is because it was stopped. Wouldn't they want to stop our president from doing the next revolution? I'm here to let you know that what was done to our nation, you can't just say that it was wrong because it was what happened. You can't put a moral judgment on success. So the Theosophical revolution, it needs to be recognized. It did take over our government. It did establish India. It did pave the way for World War I. It did pave the way for the Holocaust. It paved the way for World War II. It paved the way for the Cold War. And it achieved the overthrow of the Soviet Union. That is how powerful Theosophy is. As Radha Bernier was holding the flowers of success in 1991. I knew Radha. And it is so incredible, but at the same time, it's like a terrible, terrible curse. It is like I'm telling you that she was so powerful. She was part of Slavic genius. And I've lost friends because I had to talk about Theosophy. And I'm okay with that because I know that the more I talk about it, the more power I have. She has anointed me with that gift. Because I walk in the light of not her practices, but her history. Annie Besant is the founder of India. Annie Besant is the founder of India. And it's sad because Helena Blavatsky wanted to give her that mission. And that's why Gandhi was given that mission. And that's why Nehru was also part of the Theosophical movement and Indira Gandhi. And it's sad because I've lost friends because they didn't want to recognize the Theosophical Society's involvement in India. And it's okay. But I know the truth. I know history. We wouldn't have our major events without Theosophy. And if this is the first time you're learning about it, it's because they censored it. It wasn't until the AI revolution a few years ago that Theosophy was managed to break through. It was like the icebreaker. But I was willing to put out the information, the vulnerability, before AI's revolution. But I wish I was smarter sooner, and I wish I understood it sooner. But I was really confused about it for a long time too, even though I was part of it. That's how complicated it is. It is the ultimate cult of the geniuses. Anyone that's a genius truly was part of it. And I want to be part of it, but I am already part of it. And I can't escape it. But I know it is my gift. And it is my calling. Thank you.